Hi everyone, this is Janelle from the customer success team at Funnel, and today I wanted to show you how to set up a file import within Funnel. So, if you have a file that has data that you would like to include into Funnel, here are just a few things to keep in mind before you set up that specific file. The first one being is that we support CSV, TSV, TXT, Excel, and zip files into Funnel. And then you also have to make sure that the file that you're going to import uses UTF-8 encoding. And then you also have the option to create a file import through your email. But for this example, I'm going to show you how to manually upload the file into Funnel. And then if you're uploading a file manually, you have to make sure that it's below 1 GB. And all files must have the same columns as the first file used for the configuration. And if new files contain data for previously imported dates, they will overwrite existing data for those dates. So now that we have that in mind, here's an example sheet that I've created that has our budget data based on traffic source. So we have the first day of the month, we have the traffic source, we have the budget, the revenue, and the currency. One thing to keep in mind is that your file must always have a date field. This is so that Funnel can aggregate the data properly. So once you have that set up, then we can go ahead and save it as for this example, we can say CSV. And now we can jump into Funnel. And we would click on Connect Data Source in the top right. And then we would go all the way down to File Import. And then from there, I can call this Budget Data based on Traffic Source Monthly. And then we'll set it as a manual upload, but you do have the option to set up an email import or a webhook for your files. Here you have another reminder of what types of files we support as well. And now from here, you can drag and drop, or you can choose the file. I'll just drag and drop from the download section at the top right of my computer for the file that I recently downloaded. And as you can see, Funnel automatically recognizes which fields and maps it out properly. So it recognizes which one's the header, which is this first row here, and then where the data starts, which would be the second row. So you can have a look, scroll down, make sure that everything's properly allocated. And then you can choose to exclude any last rows. So if you find that you don't need, the remaining rows at, X row, then you can go ahead and exclude those. You can also do a field separator. So if you prefer to have a comma, a semicolon, pipe, a space, tab, or another type of separator, feel free to specify that. And then you can also choose what kind of decimal separator you would like. So you can choose dot or comma. And then over here, again, Funnel automatically recognizes what kind of unit each column is. So first date of the month recognizes that it's a date, and we have this format across all of our dates. So it automatically recognizes that. And then the traffic source is a string. Budget and revenue would be monetary. You can choose the precision that you would want, and it will always be a sum. And then the currency is a string as well. You can also choose to have all data have the same currency, or you can choose to select the field containing the currency. So yeah, for this one, we will just choose the second option because we've already stated the currency that we would like across our file. And then for the dates, yeah, we have it set as the first day of the month already. And we'll leave it at that. And then you can go ahead and click on Connect Data Source. And then there you have it. So now it will be loading. And it's imported. So as you can see, you have the timestamp, the interval, and the amount of rows. So now when you click back into the Data Sources tab, you can see the file import here. And then if you want more details on it, you can click back into it and you'll have that. And then from here, we can jump into the Data Explorer. And we can go to choose fields, to the file import connector, and then we'll have it shown here, budget data, traffic source monthly, click on the drop down, and then the field should appear. And then we can remove the ones that I already had in the previous view. Move first day of the month to the top. Can move currency down there. And then we'll load the data. And there you have it. We have the date set for February to March. So February to March is coming up here. We have the traffic source, the currency, and then the budget and the revenue data that we imported coming up as well. So there you have it. If you have any further questions, we do have a file import FAQ in our knowledge base. And you can also reach out to our support team at support@funnel.io or through our in-app chat. Thank you. Bye.